Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? We are going to be jumping into Erra's newest album, Cure. Again, I have listened to, I'll think of most of the singles. I've definitely listened to Pale Iris, because I did a reaction video for it. And then Cure, I also did a reaction for, I believe. Yeah, I think those are the only two that I did. I didn't do any of the other ones. So if you are new to Era, let me know. I have been I've been patiently waiting for this album. I have not listened to it, which in good faith I should give it a listen because I have, which is clearly being cut off by my camera, but up here I have an Era flag. So listen, and I've bought pretty much every Era album that they've put out. So, I am a fan of their music and I love their stuff. So let's get into their album Cure, starting off with the first song, which is the title track of the album, which is Cure. So let's give it some love, see what's up. I do really like this chorus a lot. I will agree. All right, if you're just tuning in, this is the title song from Erra's newest album, Cure. song name also Cures. Very cool, very cool. I have listened to this one. I have done a reaction video to this one as well. So if I didn't seem as excited about this one, is because I have heard this one before. But I will say I enjoyed this one a lot. I will say I did come around to liking this song a little bit more as I listened to it. I don't think I was the biggest fan of it when it first originally released, but now given more time to listen to it, took a little break from listening to Erra, and then coming back to this song now live. I can say I enjoy this one a lot. I think it was just because it was such a interesting sort of vibe. I don't know how to describe it because I feel like I'm always gonna be jaded because I love like older era stuff. I still think Augment is one of my I don't even think Augment is one of my favorite albums of all time. But I think with this song specifically, this kind of finds that middle point between when JT first joined Erra in that like drift era of music, no pun intended. I do feel like this riff is very stylized in that sort of year of when JT originally joined Erra. So I think for me that was what was interesting about this song, and I think is what kind of still is very interesting in terms of the writing style, because it does feel very much in that lane. And I do think that Jesse, in terms of his guitar writing, is pulling a lot from when Sean, one of their other guitar players, was originally in the band. I think they kind of obviously they were exchanging kind of riffs in that way, and this song is very evocative of that. So really enjoyed that. The chorus was really great. I think I love that kind of like that vocal bend that Jesse does in the chorus. I wasn't initially a fan of that either, but I think the way that his vocals have kind of progressed over the years, to me, I feel like this song does a really great representation of his vocal styling in this song. So really enjoyed that a lot. It actually feels a little bit more akin to his side project, which is Ghost Atlas. If you have not checked them out, go show it some love, because it's like a great post-hardcore band. I would say it's like a modern interpretation of like a Seosin, if they were to release an album now, which is great. JT sounds great. I really like his clean tone. It was something that I feel like I've kind of muddled with over the few couple years, but I think he's really become much stronger of a vocalist, that I really like his styling. The only thing that I think I would like JT to do more is like stylize his screams a little bit more. I think sometimes it can come across as very monotone, and I would love to hear him kind of do some maybe like higher fry screaming, or some like lower, more like guttural sort of stuff. And I know he's capable of doing it because he's done stuff with like Texas in July. In like his YouTube cover days, I know he can do some really crazy vocal stuff. So I'm curious as to, I don't know. I feel like there's definitely some like I feel like there's some gas in the tank that he could certainly be using, that I don't know if he's just waiting for the opportune song to use that for, but and I think he's kind of a Swiss Army knife in that way, where I think he's a good vocalist. I think he's a good screamer. But I would be curious to see if he is able to kind of push that boundary just a little bit more vocally. I think that would be really interesting to me to see. And I hope with this album maybe we'll get that. So we are going to move it on to the next one. In terms of Cure, I thought it was solid. I still think it is solid. It is not one of my favorite Erra tracks, but I think the way that they kind of arranged it out, I think was really fun, very interesting, very like a lot of open interpretation to this song, and I think that that's what keeps my interest, at least. And I'm curious if the rest of this album kind of builds off that sort of sound, or kind of goes in a completely different direction in terms of, musicality. But we are going to get into track 2, which is Rumor of Light. So let's give this one a spin. Ooh, that little tappy guitar riff. I like how that tappy lead is hidden in the back. Ooh, okay. It's all good, Kyle. Appreciate you being here. Interesting. It's a very interesting song. Ooh, nice. Little guitar solo. Oh, I like the vocal harmonies. I like the way they layered out those vocals. Really interesting. All right, cool. This was track 2 from Erra's newest album, Cure. If you've been sleeping under a rock like myself, thank you for joining. I thought this one was good. Very similarly to Cure, I like kind of like the more... I like the more riff-centric sort of vibe that they're giving off in this album, and I'm curious to see if whether or not that's going to be the case for the rest of this release or not. Because I think for me, this one was a little bit more interesting. I like the kind of like tappy lead guitar part. I thought that was fun. I also like that it's incorporated throughout a majority of the song. I think that's what kind of keeps my interest, and I'm glad that they still kept it in the song, and kept it as kind of more of a through line throughout. That was really nice. This song definitely has more of a Jesse presence on this song. Definitely... I would say it's probably kind of closer to like 70-30 in terms of the split. I think there's a lot more Jesse vocals, which is not a bad thing. I love Jesse as a vocalist, so to have more of him in a song I thought was very interesting. As well as that, I like the way that they kind of layered out his vocals. It doesn't feel... not that I feel like his vocal tone is very one dimensional, but the way that they kind of layer out his cleans and his range in this song, I think is really nice. You get this kind of like low timbre, especially in his like clean tone towards like the bridge portion of this song, and then you have like a mid to high range like vocal tone at the top that I think contrasts really well together. So in terms of the way that that musical thought process was put together, I think was very nice. As well as that, the riff was very fun, very catchy. It does in certain parts feel it does feel a little bland, just because I feel like you get this kind of like interesting, like you get this nice guitar riff, you get this cool kind of tappy lead line, but I do feel like there's something missing that I feel like maybe other Erra songs kind of do for me a little bit more. Like the rhythm just kind of keeps a similar sort of like 4/4 type rhythm beat, where I think in some other occasions in terms of the types of music that Erra has put out in the past, I do think that there are some songs where I think rhythmically there has been more of a vibe, or like there's more like of a fast paced section. Like there's a lot more tempo changes, and I think that there's, just because I don't think there's as much tempo changes in this song specifically, I think that's what kind of throws me, because it does feel like it kind of keeps that same sort of like 4/4 sort of beat, has a breakdown section that kind of like opens up a little bit more, but then continues back in that sort of like 4/4 section. So to me, I would hope that there would be a little bit more like progressiveness, because I do think that they definitely do that really well. I mean, even given like the last single that they released from the previous album, Snowblood, like that one has an interesting sort of like tapping guitar riff part section, but then also at the same point, like the rhythm is like a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more like tempo driven, and I think it keeps your interest or engages you a little bit more. So to me, these first two songs have been very interesting. I don't want to encapsulate the entire album to feel that way, because I obviously have not listened to the rest of this album, but I'm curious to see what sort of tonal shifts that will be had on this record, because there is definitely some songs that I feel like I saw like comments on, and they were saying like this one's a good one, and that's not to say that these are bad songs. I just think, in my objective opinion, I would love more of a higher tempo, more of a higher vibe that I feel like Erra does really well. So curious to see how this one lands. But we are going to move it on to track 3, which is Idlewild. Idlewild? Okay, I guess that's the name of it. Idlewild, track 3. Let's give it a listen. See what's up. I thought I read it wrong for whatever reason. Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. Love that double bass pattern type. Ooh, okay. I like this opening. I like the scream sing combo. Nice. I like Jesse's like somber vocal tone. Nice. I like the electronic elements in this song as well too. Nice addition. All right, if you're just joining us, this was track 3, Idle Wild, off of Erra's newest album, Cure. Went through 3 heavy albums this stream. Hopefully we'll do more in the future, so keep your eyes peeled for more. I might do one on Monday potentially, so come hang out for that. Would love to see you in chat. But getting into this song, I thought this one was better than the previous 2 songs. I like the energy of it. I think the incorporation of electronic elements, I know that they've always kind of had that in terms of their musical styling over the years. But I felt like this one had more of that sort of feel in it, which I really liked. As well as that, I think they borrowed a lot from actually the most current Dayseeker record, Dark Sun. Definitely has more of a like synth overtone to it. Definitely in that sort of lane, which is not a bad thing. I like that bands are kind of delving more into that sort of electronic space and incorporating it into more of their musicality, so I do appreciate that a lot. I think that this one definitely had more of a rhythm change, more of a switch up in the song to keep it interesting. I do like that the verses have more of a faster pace sort of feel to it, and then the choruses have more of a like halftime feel to it, which is really nice. I think it adds a lot of like open space to work out a little bit more, so definitely appreciate that a ton. I also like kind of the combination between Jesse and JT. I think vocally it works out really well. They obviously have been working together for a long period of time. I don't know if JT is technically the longest standing screamer for Erra. I'm pretty sure he's very close, if not the closest, because I know Garrett did the first 2 albums, and then Ian did Moments of Clarity, and then I think JT has done like 3 or 4 albums now at this point, so I think he might actually be the longest standing screamer in the group now. But I think this song does a really great job of both highlighting Jesse as well as JT, so I think this song does a great job of finding that midpoint of what I was kind of, I don't want to say arguing about, but something I was mentioning in previous songs where I think that the way that they could utilize both Jesse and JT could be utilized in a very unique way, and I think the song does a really great job of kind of, again, using them in tandem together, but also being able to be 2 separate entities, and I think this song does a great job of kind of giving that sort of entitlement to both of them. Also, as well as this, I really enjoyed Jesse's vocal performance. I like that this one has kind of more of a clear-cut sort of vibe to it, and so I think he nails it super well. I like that kind of bridge section where it's a little bit more like vocally somber. I think he does really well in those vocally quiet moments where you don't need like an aggressive vocal tone. I think he does like that really kind of vibey sort of like undertone to an album, and I can't understate that. So really enjoyed that a lot, and was a real vibe to me. So very curious to hear what the rest of this album is, so we're going to get into more tracks, which is going to be our next one on the list is Blue Reverie, which actually I was going to do a reaction video for, but I didn't wind up doing it, and then I just waited to just listen to the whole album here live for the most part. So I think the only two reaction videos I did was for Cure and Pale Iris, and Pale Iris has been out for a long time, and then Cure was out like, I don't know, a couple months, maybe like a month ago or something. So we're going to get into Blue Reverie because this was one of the singles, and I think Crawl Backwards Out of Heaven was another one. So we'll be getting into those very soon. But let's get into Blue Reverie right now.
Silent wake as the day is spinning, slip back into my silhouette. I don't know when the trains are running, get me back on the hideaway, hideaway, hideaway.
Interesting.
Sky ablazing, the subtle turning to emotion in a pirouette. Wide awake with a quiet yearning, give me seaside to hide away. Do you imagine the illusion calls your name from a world you can't embrace? Hide away.
Chorus is sick.
All the rain that falls, what the clouds cannot contain. Till the embers find a waves. Hide away, hide away, hide away.
Ooh. This low end is wild. Interesting song. All right, guys. That was track 4. That was Blue Reverie. If you have not listened to Erra's newest album, Cure, I'm going to be going through the rest of this album, so hopefully you'll join me. But this song was very interesting. I would argue probably the most interesting one we've listened to so far. The beginning half of this song, I guess even yeah, I guess it would be beginning half of the song was very interesting. The first part of it felt very like Ghost Atlas is what I mentioned before. That was Jesse's like alternative like post hardcore side project, and I feel like this beginning portion of this song felt very akin to that. Like if you had told me that beginning section was a Ghost Atlas song, I would have definitely believed you on that. Which is a little bit surprising, and I don't know if whether or not I don't know whether or not the band was trying to blur the lines between the two groups, but I felt like this was maybe one of the more inherent versions that I feel like they were trying to do. Like, hey, we're trying to do this, we're trying to incorporate it into the songs, and I was just surprised. I think that was kind of more of a shock to me. Though I will say, once you get to about the halfway point of the song, then this kind of like low end, really, like I assume they have some sort of drop pedal or something, but the way that the song kind of shifts into like more of a heavier kind of chug fest was very surprising. And I think they incorporated JT in a nice way. I know JT also had vocals in that chorus with like some screaming in the background, but I don't know. It kind of feels a little juxtaposed, and I imagine that to some degree that was probably the case. But with a song being 5 minutes long, I'm kind of surprised at I'm kind of surprised at the layout of the song, because I don't. To me, the only way that it kind of feels like they meshed together was in that last chorus, where you're able to kind of get that low end of like the H strings that they're playing, but then also kind of being able to tie in that kind of main melody from that first portion of the song. So it was kind of like an interesting middle ground, where by that last chorus, then it's like, okay, now it makes sense. But I had to go through like roughly 4 minutes of the song to find out that that's what the thought process was behind it. So I was a little shocked that I'm a little shocked that that's the thought process they were going through. And I don't know if it translated super well in terms of doing like, okay, we're gonna give you this Ghost Atlas sort of vibe, and then we're gonna throw on Erra, and then we're gonna try to find that midpoint towards the end. Like, I don't think there was any sort of being able to. I don't think it was gonna be an easy swap, to be fair, but I was surprised that they kind of went about it in this sort of way. So I don't know, maybe this one just didn't hit me the way that I feel like it should, but I was kind of surprised, and was kind of hoping that the translation of the songs would have been a little bit more, I guess, like fitting for the vibes, and I don't feel like they meshed up super well. So to me, I was very surprised about this one. I will definitely give a lot of these songs more of a listen, but I was very surprised at kind of the combination of the two songs. So very interesting. But we are going to keep moving here. We are going to move it on to track 5, which is Slow Sour Bleed. So let's see if this one's going to be a chunky one or not. Ooh, interesting.
to pause the illusion you're under. Patient peace, show the teeth. You're alone in a forest to wander. Lie awake with one eye open to watch it take your place.
Ooh.
Trust the deep beyond your dreams. It's all magical and no wonder. Surfacing to bleed the leech. Burying blocks with me under.
Interesting incorporation of electronics. I like it though. Ooh, okay, okay. Very like North Lane-esque about it. Interesting song. I like this. All right, that was Slow Sour Bleed from Erra's newest album, Cure. If you have not checked it out, check the links below if you are watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this on Twitch, then you just go watch the YouTube video later. But this one I liked. I thought this one was very good. I like the incorporation, again, of electronic elements. Erra is no stranger to that, but I think this one was a little bit more ever present in this song, so I definitely appreciate that a lot. It kind of felt like actually a combination of two songs from their previous self-titled album. It kind of sounded like a mix between like Divisionary and Scorpion Hymn. Like if you took all of the elements, you took all the extra heavy elements of Scorpion Hymn and you mixed it with like kind of a more like melodic type riffing going on in Divisionary. I think it kind of finds that good mesh point between the two, where again I feel like those songs kind of hit off super well. So definitely enjoyed this one a lot. I think this was a better showcase of JT in terms of his screaming abilities. So I definitely like that element of it. Another thing I really enjoyed was again the riff. The guitar riffs in this song were really good. They weren't like, I don't feel like they were incredibly crazy, which again they're using a lot of they're using a lot of electronic elements to kind of play out some of the more environmental elements of the song. So I think for me it was like cool to hear a lot of those cool like electronic elements mixed in with those heavier guitars. I thought that was really nice, but the riffs kind of start to blend in together a little bit. So I'm curious as to the combination, and why they ended up choosing more of the vibes in this one. Very, very, very interesting overall, but definitely enjoyed this one nonetheless. It was a very solid song to do. So we are going to move on to the next one, which is going to be track 6, which is Wish, and it is only a minute and 25 seconds. So a short but sweet one, but let's see what it's all about. Might be like an interlude, possibly. Oh, I like this minor guitar phrasing. Really cool. Hmm. All right, that was Wish. I was correct as kind of like an interlude sort of thing, so I'll be short and sweet with that one. I thought it was nice. I like that guitar riff. It was definitely like in the sort of minor tonality, which, as I pointed out earlier, I really enjoy that. I think Jesse has always had some really cool guitar riff parts, and I feel like this one was definitely amongst that. I like the kind of like more like faster, like hammer on kind of like guitar riff that went on there. Really interesting, very tight. But yeah, overall I think it's gonna lead really well into this next track, Glimpse. So I'm gonna just jump right into this one, and let's see what it's all about. Ooh, I like that riff translated into a heavier riff. Nice. Ooh, okay. Ooh. I love the harmonies in this chorus. Give me this breakdown. I like the vocal layering going on here. Really neat. I like the ethereal nature of this ending too. Really nice. All right, guys, that was track 7 from Erra's newest album, Cure. This was Glimpse for those tuning in. Really enjoyed this one. I think this one is probably my favorite so far. I love the combination of heavy and melody. I think that's truly what I would argue Erra does very well, is that kind of combination between like really kind of rhythmic guitar riffs, but also finding that beautifulness in like a nice like open chug with some like really like ethereal more melodic style chording. I think that's really where their bread and butter shines, and I think this song does a really great job of representing that. I would also say vocally, I think this is probably the strongest song too. I really like Jesse's vocal styling in this song specifically, as well as JT's scream. I think he was able to kind of do stuff more tonally in this song specifically, and I think it definitely worked out really well. Plays it kind of plays off of the things that I feel like make up a really good Erra song, and that's what I had talked about in previous songs on the list so far. But I think it does everything. It checks all of the boxes, at least for me, of what I think a good Erra track is. This song kind of combines all of those great elements into one nice, neat package. So absolutely love that. The breakdown was really blistering in this song specifically. But I also love the kind of ethereal overtones that Jesse brings to this track. Not only I think in the guitar parts, but I also think vocally, the way they stacked his vocals were really nice, and I think they played to his vocal strengths. So really, really enjoyed this, and I think Wish did a really great job of introducing Glimpse as well. I think if you were listening to this album straight through, I think it is a really good transitional song that allows you to feel more immersed in this track. So definitely like this one a lot. This is probably going to be one of my favorites, if not my favorite track off the album. So very curious to get into the latter half of this release, but this one is like 3 to 4 thumbs up. So big song that I really enjoy. But we are going to move it on to the next one, which is Past Life Persona. This one's next on the list, and it's track 8. So let's give it some love. Oh, I like these synths, pads, nice. Hmm.
I see the end is coming.
Interesting.
Open the earth for me. You couldn't see me going down to sink into the sea. Finding a way to the softest source. Breaking away was a conscious choice. I knew that I was barely yours. Found my way through the dark. I'm trying to pick up all the pieces of it. Thinking the clock is running. Finding a way to the softest source. Calling your name till I find my voice.
Interesting. This song also feels very Ghost Atlas-y.
As red as autumn leaves beneath an alabaster moon, above the evergreen.
Nice JT cleans, all right.
Finding a way to the softest source. Breaking away was a conscious choice. I knew that I was barely yours. Found my way through the dark. I'm trying to pick up all the pieces of it. Thinking the clock is running. Finding a way to the softest source. Calling your name till I find one. And if the end is coming, open the earth for me. Finding a way to the softest source. Breaking away was a conscious choice. I knew that I was barely yours. Found my way through the dark. I'm trying to pick up all the pieces of it. Thinking the clock is running. Finding a way to the softest source. Calling your name till I find my voice.
Hmm. All right, guys. If you're just tuning in, this is track number 8 from Erra's newest album, Cure. Past life persona. I'm a little confused. I feel like this album has been quite the roller coaster. As someone who's again been a fan of Erra for since White Noise, uh, it's been an interesting. It's been an interesting dive into their musical catalog every time they release something new. But I feel like some of these songs definitely I don't know if intentionally they started off as Ghost Atlas songs and then wind up becoming Erra songs, but this one definitely feels very similarly to Blue Reverie. I feel like those two songs have this sort of Ghost Atlas feel to them, but then were just somehow migrated into Erra tracks, which is not a bad thing. I love Ghost Atlas, I love Erra, but I do find that the lines can become a little bit blurred, and I think with those two songs specifically, maybe another one, who knows, feel very much in that lane. A lot of this song is vocally driven by Jesse. The melodies, I think, even if you didn't have like a down tuned guitar in it, if you just had like a normal, like, I don't know what tuning he plays in for Ghost Atlas, but I would assume maybe possibly like drop C sharp or drop C. If you translated some of those riffs into like that styling, I think you could very easily get like a post hardcore song out of it, which is not a bad thing. Again, these are no disses. I do enjoy it, but I as someone who likes both, it's kind of like you would think that I would be happy with those songs being what they are, but in reality, I love Erra because I think they are riffy. They have like a great spot for both melody as well as rhythm, and this song kind of has like it is straightforward, and when I think of Erra, I don't think of songs. I don't think of some songs being straightforward. I think of it being a little bit more technical, a little bit more aggressive, and this one kind of pulls more into the like the major tonality. The song has a little bit more open space to it, and I think the way that they kind of went about this one was very interesting comparatively to other songs that they've released over their catalog. And I don't know if whether or not it's maybe they want to try to do something different and they want to kind of branch their metaphorical wings, or spread their metaphorical wings. I don't know why I said branched. It's getting late, so it's probably my brain turning off. But I do find that they have done stuff well on this album. It just kind of surprises me that they would kind of have a song like this in this catalog, and I love Jesse's clean singing. I think he's a great clean singer, and I think he comes up with some really cool guitar riffs, obviously. But this song is like 80-ish% Jesse. There is some screaming from JT. I also think he does like a little smidgen of clean singing in a pre-chorus before the second chorus, I believe. And then there's like a breakdown section where I think he does a little bit of screaming. But that kind of throws me for a loop a little bit. And I know that he can do clean singing, so I don't know if it's whether or not the song just didn't require it or feel the need to have it. But it does feel a little bit odd that there wasn't any clean singing from JT, where I know he can do it. So just surprised overall. I think this album has surprised me very very convincingly, but I'm curious what the next track on this release is, which is track 9, Crawl Backwards Out of Heaven. This is one of the singles. I believe it was one of the last singles to release on the album, so let's give this one a listen and see what's up. Okay. Love that riff. Ooh, nice straight beat. Ooh, we're getting a chorus? Interesting. Oh, no. We're getting a bridge. Like that minor dissonance. Nice. All right, that was track number 9, Crawl Backwards Out of Heaven, from Erra's newest album, Cure, if you have not checked this out yet. I enjoyed this one a lot. I think if I had to, it's interesting that this song is next on the track listing, because I think if you listen to Past Life Persona, you'd be very confused because this one is definitely more aggressive, more heavy, which the contrast is nice. I think that there's sorely welcomed in this song, so I definitely like it a lot. And it's interesting because I think this song is definitely like 90% JT and like 10% Jesse, which is a nice contrast to the more vocal prowess of Past Life Persona, which is like 90% Jesse and like 10% JT. So very interesting in terms of arrangement, as well as having a song primarily be just one of the two vocalists. I thought that was very interesting. I love the riff on this song. Definitely a memorable guitar riff. I like the kind of, again, that like really fast guitar riff and then landing on like a cool like harmonic, like a pitch. Really, really interesting. As well as that, I like JT screaming in the song. Really, really just straightforward and cutthroat, which I like, and I think that this song definitely needs a screaming tonality that works with a song like this. So definitely understood the assignment and nailed it. I like the bridge of the song. I also appreciate that that Jesse is doing like some really kind of like more somber, low, clean tones in that bridge, and then is being backed up by like some really panned out JT screaming. I thought that was really nice. The kind of spatial awareness in the breakdown was really nice in this track as well too. But yeah, overall, this one is definitely a solid one. Definitely a good song to release as a single. So definitely a good vibe overall on this one. So we are going to move it into track 10, which is End of Excess, which is the next song on the album. So let's give it a listen. In 2 X's, sorry. I don't know why I said of. Interesting.
I sleep alone in a dreamless void. Right through the gun, I never did to see the rocks. I've been chasing the pain of your face, but I can't remember.
Oh, I like that double bass pattern.
I stand away, craft a figure, hollow emotionless. With you and call my name.
Ooh. Like this chorus. Oh. I like that low guttural. Nice. I like that guitar effect on the chordage of that song. Really nice. All right, that was track 10, End to Excess, from Erra's newest album, Cure. If you have like it so far, definitely go check the links below to go pick it up if you feel so inclined to. And they are currently out on tour as well, across the states. So go out and see them if you haven't already. Fortunately, I missed out on the Philly date, which was the first date of the tour. So big upset about that. And I think New York is sold out as well. So unfortunately not going, which is a little upsetting because I want to see Novelist really bad. But this song specifically, I thought it was good. I think this is like to me, it feels very tried and true Era. You know what I mean? Like if I was to kind of show a song to someone that wasn't familiar with Era before, I think this song does a very good job of kind of mapping out what I feel like Era does well. which is have some really fun like guitar riffs, where I feel like this song definitely does. It has a sing along type chorus, or like a big chorus, and I think that this one kind of falls under both of those categories. Has a really nice breakdown in it, and has a good mix of both screams and cleans. And I think this song does a really great job of finding that midpoint between those two things, where I feel like other songs on this album might not hit that sort of stride. I think this song definitely does. I also really enjoyed Jesse's vocal tonality in the chorus of this song, very reminiscent of some older stuff of their material. I think whenever he hits that kind of like mid to high range vocal tone, that's when I think of like the classic sort of Erra sound. And he's just got a cool kind of like rasp to his vocal tone, that I think really is highlighted super well on a track like this. So definitely giving me like nostalgic sort of Erra vibes, and I'm fully about that. But as well as that, I think the riffs were really brought in this track as well too. And really enjoyed this one overall. I think this would be either in my favorites, or like maybe slightly outside of my favorites, but being like an honorable mention. So definitely enjoyed this one a lot. If you haven't given End to Excess a listen, definitely go show it some love. But we are going to move it on to the 11th track of this album, which is Pale Iris. I have done a reaction video to it. I have listened to the song so many times, but we're going to give it a listen, and I'm probably going to give you a quick summation of my thoughts on this track before we get into the last one, Wave. So let's get into Pale Iris. Every time this chorus comes in, I love it. This breakdown always gets me. I love it. Well, this bridge into a breakdown. All right, guys, that was track 11, Pale Iris from Erra's newest album, Cure. If you are just tuning in, I enjoy this song. This is probably one of my favorite songs that they've released as of currently, and I would definitely say this is probably one of my favorite songs on the album, without a doubt. As previously mentioned in the reaction video, so I'll kind of give it like a TLDR about it. But I think this song definitely combines a lot of the best elements of what I feel like Erra does best. Having fun guitar riffs, having a slam in breakdown, having a really kind of sing along chorus. I think this does a great job of not only highlighting Jesse's vocal tone, but I also think it does a great job of highlighting both JT's clean singing as well as his screaming, which is kind of, I don't want to say my gripe about some of the songs on this album, but I think this one does the best job of highlighting everybody. It's got fun riffs. It's really bouncy. Again, the sing-along chorus aspect to it. I think it does a really great job of hitting all of those notes super well. And it, again, is a reason why I think they released it so early, because they knew that this song has just such a good Era vibe to it, and I think that this song delivers on that. So absolutely loved Pale Iris. Still love this song. Still a song that I love listening to and will probably spin more now knowing that it's a part of this album. So great song. Definitely one of my favorite songs on the album as well too. So big kudos. So we're gonna move it into the last one. This one is a 5-minute roughly. Is track 12 called Wave, and is the closeout to the album Cure. So let's give it a listen. Ooh. I like this gallopy sort of guitar riff. Nice. Ooh, this is nice. Cool vocal deliveries. Strong chorus. Ooh, I like this chord. Chord phrasing is tight. Ooh. Okay. Little delayed. Liking this vibe. Ooh, I'm liking this. All right, guys, that was track 12, Wave, off of Erra's newest album, Cure. If you like it, check the links below to go pick it up if you feel so inclined to. I know it's been out for a little bit, so please go show it some love if you haven't. I love this song. This is a great closing song. As previously mentioned with Pale Iris, I think this song does a really great job of encapsulating what I imagine to be Erra's sound. I think they really kind of took this one up a notch. I like the kind of like gallopy sort of guitar riff that is going on here. Really reminiscent of a song from one of their previous albums, Signal Fire. Definitely kind of gives me that sort of vibe, which is not a bad thing. That's one of my favorite songs off of Neon. So definitely a good song to be vibing out with. But overall, I thought this album was well, to get back into Wave a little bit, I'll talk about Wave just for a few more moments. But man, I love the vocal delivery, not only from Jesse but also JT. I think this song definitely allows him to vocally shine, whether it be the screaming aspect of Erra, but as well as the clean singing. I think he was able to kind of do a lot more clean singing in this song, which I definitely appreciate because he's got a unique tone that separates his vocal styling from Jesse. So whenever that's incorporated, I think I definitely love that much more. But I also think this song does a great job of not only meshing both their clean vocal stylings together, but I also feel like screaming wise too. I think this is one of the strongest songs that I have heard JT on this album. So definitely love this one a lot for that. But I think the instrumentation definitely takes the show for me, at least in terms of this song. Very fun, very rhythm focused. I think Alex, their drummer, is such a tight drummer, and I think this song allows him to kind of go across the kit a little bit more. That I feel like in maybe any variation of Erra. I think this one definitely has more of the chops going on, which I definitely appreciate a lot. And I think this one, in terms of both like overall fun, as well as kind of like what I imagine Erra to be, I think this one definitely takes the cake in terms of favorite songs. I think in terms of this album, I don't really know where to place this on my kind of personal scaling. I do feel like they had a lot of songs that I feel like could have been Ghost Atlas songs, and as well as that, I definitely feel like there was some hit or miss moments on this album, but I definitely feel like there are some songs that I really enjoyed. Wave, Pale Iris, Crawl Backwards Out of Heaven, Glimpse. And then I'd also say I would say those are probably my favorite songs off the album. I think they do a great job of not only giving off the characteristics of what I feel Erra to be, but as well as that, I think they also accentuate what I feel like the current state of Erra does well. So overall, enjoyed the album. Do I feel like this is my favorite album from Erra? Probably not. But I do think there are a lot of unsung gems on this album that I would hope people would give a listen to, because there's definitely some songs that I enjoyed a lot and would hope to get a lot more love. But overall, really solid. And if you have the opportunity to go see them live, definitely go do it. But this is going to be the end of the video. If you like this, make sure to go check it out on YouTube, as well as that. I do tons of stuff, whether it be K-pop music all the way to metal music, and anything in between. So hope to be doing more of these streams here on Twitch. Mostly we do this sort of stuff for the K-pop stuff. So if you feel so inclined to come back, would love to see you in future videos. I'm going to put myself on the full video here. So yeah, come back. Would love to see you in upcoming videos in the future. I may or may not plan on doing one either Sunday, which is technically today, or possibly on Monday tomorrow, since we are not doing the K-pop stuff on Monday, this upcoming Monday, unless Teresa and I decide to do something. So keep your eyes peeled. We'll be keeping you locked in on socials. But yeah, very excited to see what other musical things happen here on the channel, and hope to see you a part of the journey regardless. So thank you for watching. It is like 1 a.m. here on the East Coast, so your boy is tired. I had done 3 album reviews live, so go check those out if you feel so inclined. Thank you for watching. Hope to catch you in a future stream. Talk to you later. Peace.